The world of esports and gaming is becoming a global sensation. But in South Africa, we are slow in getting a piece of the action. Esports apparently has also become a marketplace for big brands such as Mercedes and Red Bull, sponsoring games and businesses. Now, one of the biggest games at the moment is Fortnite, which has raked in more revenue, would you believe, than Facebook and Google in a year. Okay, I've got experts in the studio. Let me introduce them. Barry Luzada is the co-founder of Metal State and an ex-pro gamer. We will explore what that means. Also in the studio with us is Rizik Khan. He's a young gamer. You can look at him. He's young. Who has started a YouTube channel based on the game Fortnite. Next to me, to try to make sense of all of it all, but also being a part of it, is Karabo Tata, our reporter. Thank you.
Declaration up front. I am here because I have never used a typewriter in my life, unlike the seasoned Godfrey Mtizwa. So I am here, if you will, as a technology enabler.
But actually, it's a point of pride that I used a typewriter and survived into this e-gaming space.
Gentlemen, have you ever used the typewriter before?
Never. I'd be lying if I said never. I may or may not have dabbled on a typewriter.
Barry, what happens to a pro gamer once they do you retire from that?
I suppose there comes a time in your life where you kind of realize that maybe the amount of time you need to invest in playing games just isn't worth it when you start to have a family and you start to kind of decide to grow up. And particularly in South Africa, you have to work as well, because at this point in South Africa, you're not earning a full-time salary from just playing games, right? So you have a full-time job, you get married, you have kids, whatever the case is, and all of a sudden there's just not enough time to play games. I'm sure Rizik has more time than I would ever imagine having to play games.
Yeah,
Barry's
I was going to ask
young champions already.
No, I was going to ask the question. Actually, when you play, you can only play for a certain time. Now, when you have children, you don't want them to be playing games, right?
Rizik doesn't have that problem.
I want them playing games.
No, let's paint the picture. Let's begin. Where are we in terms of esports in South Africa? If you can do a comparison, perhaps it's sort of like a similar size economy or other parts of the world where we can make a good
It's a
comparison.
developing sport as it is in any country, right? If you had to compare soccer in South Africa to football in Europe, it's a very different thing. It doesn't mean that soccer is a small sport in South Africa. And I'm not saying that esports is on the same level as soccer, but it is something that's going to also require a lot of mindset change with regards to how it's seen as a sport within the industry, because esports is a sport. There is money involved, there's jobs involved within esports, and there are possible careers to be made out of esports. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's just playing games, right? You can, as I mentioned, be a coach for a team. You can be a web developer for an esports team or for a tournament organizer like Metal State.
Do you have some numbers for me from South Africa before we expand and try to get
numbers with regards to players?
Yes, numbers in terms of the business of esports in South Africa.
I mean, it depends on there's so many different things with regards to numbers around that, right? There's millions. Currently, there's 2 tournament organizers that are running million-rand competitions that are happening in South Africa. Prize pools are over 500,000 Rand, some of the regular events. And then we just ran a tournament last month for 100,000 Rand for Cape Town Tens, which is kind of affiliated with an outside brought, like a rugby kind of event, outside event that brought in esports.
Rizik, now let's bring you in here as the actual gamer. Let's speak about Fortnite. First of all, what's your attraction to Fortnite? And clearly you are one of many in the world. And how much time do you spend on average playing the game?
First of all, it's a very addictive game. As soon as you start playing,
do you have an addictive personality?
Yes. The game just hooks you. No matter how many times you lose, you'll just want to keep trying. And eventually when you win, the satisfaction of winning is just overwhelming. And you'll just want to continue no matter what. And the amount of hours I play about 10 to 14 hours a day.
Jeez, man.
Every day.
So you're probably up there at 3 in the morning playing against some South Korean kid who's kicking your ass.
Probably.
Listen, but like when I look at the game, I think obviously, like many business models, the longer you stay in the game, the more you have an avenue there for sponsorship, for advertisers. Is that how the game makes its money?
Not really. The game makes lots of money from small purchases in the game. Like, because it's a free-to-play game, the only way they make money is either from people that buy stuff from the items in the game. They either make money there or the story mode. The story mode is separate from the Battle Royale. There's two parts. The Battle Royale is free, and Save the World, you pay for that. They make a lot of money just from those two things, besides streamers and other YouTubers.
Data is a very, very key concern in South Africa. How much data do you go through to play this?
About 30 to 40 gigs a month.
Jeez.
Sure.
It's quite something.
You're going to be rich guy, right?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, a lot of a basic fiber line for 10 megasecond, which is something you can play on, is 2 to 3, maybe 400 rand. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on those prices, but you can get up to a 100 meg fiber for 1,000 rand, and that's unlimited data use, right? And that's what most gamers are looking for, to give them that kind of advantage over that competitive advantage over the other players, is to ensure that they're as quick as possible.
Fair warning, if you have children in the house who play esports, you need to keep a close eye on your credit card. Do you abuse your mom's, your dad's credit card? How do you buy these things then?
Most of the time I don't buy much stuff because it is a free-to-play game, and the stuff in the game are only cosmetic and they don't offer any competitive advantage. Therefore, it's not always necessary to buy anything. So I don't really spend that much at all.
I think they play on the hearts of the FOMO, right? Fear of missing out from kids. They want that cosmetic item, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have it. Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you. But I've got good news for you. From March 1, it includes you as well, the new regulations around the rollover of data come into play. So you will not lose that data overnight. If you do, we'll make a lot of noise. And if they try to charge you for rolling over the data like Vodacom is trying to do, run and make a protest. Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you. Karabo.